Hi, this is Kirk with Forex Strategy Secrets, and we're going to be talking about how to have a balanced life. Now, this may not have been as big a problem before you started trading, but I know when I started trading, it became a big problem because my life went totally to trading. It's addictive almost, and I've had to bring it back to a balanced life. And so I read an article that inspired me to do this, so I've taken some information from and edited my own as well. The information came from an article by Ms. Lewis Efron. So things you need to consider to have a balanced life. You need effective time management, proper nutrition, sleep, and exercise, quality time with your family, friends, and your loved ones. Now these are the things that you need to be aware of. This kind of is the outline for a balanced life. If you spend nothing but time with your friends, it's going to cause a problem with your family. If you are always out exercising and you're doing it at the cost of sleep, then that's a problem also. Ignoring these areas of your life will lead to disengagement and depression when you can't deliver on your unrealistic expectations. Not spending quality and focused time with your family, friends, and loved ones affects your focus. So if you're out of balance and you think, well, I need to get to that family activity, or I've got this thing scheduled with my friends, and then you're not focused on your trading. You're thinking about, I need to get there and I can't, and I need to get this trade. I have this trade that's on, and so that causes a lot of distraction. Combine this with lack of sleep, an imbalanced diet, and little or no exercise can create perfect setup for high stress, anxiety, and failure. I've been there. True success comes when you live a balanced life. Now here's some ideas on living a balanced life. Focus on life, not work. First, think about the life you want, then about the job which fits into that life. Now, maybe some of you are retired, and so you've already had the job, but think of the life you want to have as a retired person. If you're young enough in your career, think about the life you want to have, and does that career fit in with what you want? I know that I've had jobs because they paid well that I stayed with them even though I didn't like them, and I was working around a job rather than working a life that I would enjoy. Plan your life first, then your job or your trading becomes in second place. Have balance between trading, family, and me time. Then be physically present and mentally present when trading and playing. So be where you are. If you're trading, be there. If you're with your family, be there. Avoid burnout. Now, burnout is having emotional, mental, and physical exhaustion because of long periods of stress. And burnout leads to low energy levels and exhaustion. Being reactive instead of proactive. Low self-confidence. Have you ever been there? You're burned out and you can't decide whether you should take a trade or not. You're just jumping at everything and say, oh, it looks good, and you jump in and it always loses, and you can't figure out why things are going against you. No matter how much you love what you do, you are not immune to burnout. Yes, I love trading, but when I do it too much, I just become immune to it. I can't see the trades, I can't analyze things properly, and that is a big problem. When I have proper sleep, I'm eating right, I've had some recreation with my family, my friends, or time alone, me time, then I can minimize or eliminate the burnout. You can avoid burnout by effective time management. Have a daily schedule and stick to it. Now, this is really important. We talked about another webinar that you need to have routines. And so go to bed around the same time every day. Weekends, in and out. It doesn't make any difference. So you got a little leeway there. It's not like you have to be right exactly at the minute you have to lay down, but around the same time. Maybe it's just after the evening news sometimes, or it's just a time that you like to go to bed. And say no when you are at capacity. Some people will take on more and then they can't even get done anything, and so they're very inefficient in everything they do. Working smarter, not harder. find innovative tools and technologies to grant you more time to spend doing what you are good at and what you enjoy. Seek role models is another thing that might be of help to you. Find people in your life who live healthy, happy, and balanced lives. Talk to them and find out what they do right. Emulate their behavior, which works for you. So they might do some things that just doesn't work for you, but they probably do some things that would fit in with the way you like to live life. I have a friend who is extremely successful financially. He is, in my opinion, he's successful as a family man also. He spends time with his family, he recreates and does things, but I know from the things that we've talked about over the years, he has periods of time where he ignored his family, or he didn't necessarily do it on purpose, but he was out of town a lot. He was working his business and doing what he loved. He loved his business, and so that's where he spent his time, and he'd be gone for months at a time running his business, which became a worldwide business. And now he's back to, he and his partner sold that business, and now he has a situation where now he's balanced. And I've met him after he had sold his business and been around when he's balanced. And so a lot of the things he does, I emulate from him. He is a successful person, and I've been around he and his family, his children, and he's got a lot of things figured out. Well, it took him some time. He didn't just happen to be there. Choose the life balance that works for you. In finding life balance, remember, one size does not fit all. That means what I do wouldn't necessarily work for you, and what you do doesn't necessarily work for me, but we can maybe learn and bounce things off one another to become better individuals, have a life balance. So have a me party. Let me share with you what Bill Williams told me, and he was my first coach, and he said once a week, take 2 hours. He suggested more than that. I think he said 4 hours, but I usually took 2. Have a me party. That was hard for me to have a me party, to go do something just for me, by myself, something I wanted to do. Usually if I wanted to do something, it was like 20 minutes and I was done, I'd back into work or needed to be around other people. So have a me party, relax, be by yourself, have time to think. Do something you enjoy which focuses entirely on you, like self-improvement classes, sports, charity work, reading a book, listening to music, going to a movie. I like to go to movies with my wife. Well, you're not talking to one another, so that's still kind of, to me time. Do these things. Eat right. We've talked about these. Sleep 7 to 9 hours a day. Some people say, oh, I can get by on 4 hours a day. Well, maybe so, but do you work better if you get 5 hours a day instead of cutting it? So find the maximum amount of sleep you need and do that. Don't try and find the minimum you can get by on. Regular exercise. It doesn't have to be strenuous. I've heard different scenarios where people do heavy cardio and no weights, and others say do weights and no cardio. Find a balance in your exercise that works for you, that makes your body feel good. Finding balance in your life is essential to unleashing your true potential. Life balance does not happen all at once. I can attest to that. I think I'm more in a balanced life than I have been, but do things a step at a time. Make a plan and get started. So do something right now, today, that is simple, and this will get you started. By maybe making a schedule. Say, well, I'll trade these hours. Only trade these plans. I'll get some tools to help me so that I don't have to trade any more than that. I'm going to spend this time with the family and this time on my work and this time for myself. That's what you can do today, is make the plan right now and then gradually start on it. You may fail and overlap and take more time doing one thing than you have planned, but you'll fit into it. Eventually it'll figure out and it'll resolve itself. Maybe you've given too much time in one area. You can cut that back, and that's where you adjust it until it works for you. Now we're going to look at some charts, and we're going to pick out some good trade setups and show you what to look for and how to have consistent growth in your trading. Now the thing that I'm wanting to stress in this, looking at these charts, we talked about finding tools that will work and doing consistent things that work in your trading. And this method that I'm going to show you, it can be done manually or it can be done automated. Be consistent. Find something that works and just keep on doing the same thing. Don't find something that works and then try to improve it. If it works, it works. Don't spend your time trying to develop. That is a problem many traders have. They find something that works and they want to tweak it. Something works 80% of the time, they're trying to tweak it so it works 90 or 100% of the time. Nothing works 100% of the time. If it's a high probability, then it works quite often, a large percent of the time, then that's good enough. There's nothing perfect in trading. And we're going to instruct you on a trading tool that'll help you with your steady, consistent growth. It's called the Norwood Strategy Scanner. So now we're going to go to some charts. This is a 30-minute chart. So we're going to look at several different time frames. I'm going to look at the 30, 15, and 5 first. And then I'm going to look at the 1 hour, 30, and 15. And show you some concepts here. Is what I'm looking for. This is a filter indicator. And when it crosses that zero line, long or short, that's heads up. It's pretty sensitive, so that's just heads up. The other thing that I have to have with that is, you notice this is a dark color, it's black. But I had it black just so I can break up the monotony of my red and blue. But I call it blue a lot of times. It's a 4-bar, meaning it's 4 blue bars. Of course, the red is red all the way through. So it's across that zero line, blue, blue, blue. See what happens up here? It's in a dip, or it's in a peak coming back down. So we'll use this as the example. Now, the thing that's going to be confirm that would be, this has to be a 4-bar as well. It is. It confirms. And the entry time frame is a 4-bar. Now, this may have become a 4-bar right towards the end because it's very small. Well, the next one, look, is not a 4-bar. So it's only a 5-minute chart. So in about 10 to 15 minutes, then a 2 4-bar hit that probably stayed. This one may have flickered back and forth. Maybe by the time you got there, it wasn't blue anymore on one of them, and so it's only 3 of the indicators were blue. Don't worry about it. Just wait until it gives you a good solid 4-bar. You see it didn't change much. From the time that closed until this one opened, it's like a half a pip. So you're not going to lose much by waiting until it becomes a better situation. Then there's your trade for 20 some odd pips. What are we looking for? Exit? A couple of things. When these hot lines, these are moving averages, we call them hot lines, turn, cross, or the color changes here. That would say that's possibly an exit signal. Or when this indicator crosses back below the zero line. We were looking for when it first crossed above, but it had to have a 4-bar and above. And when it crosses back below, that's time to possibly consider getting out of that trade. Okay, now we're going to take this same scenario. This is what the 30-minute looked like. Let's go to the 1 hour time frame. Now notice that this is not a 4-bar. It's a fresh cross, but it's not a 4-bar on the 1 hour. So I'm going to put a different line here, and I'm going to change the color of that line. And I like this blue color here. It is the marking of that 1 hour time frame. So that's where the 1 hour was crossed in the first 2 bars. After that, it doesn't apply. It's not fresh. So this was in the second bar. It was a 4-bar, and now we look at the 30-minute. Well, we know the 30-minute was before. This is what the 1 hour did. Now let's look at the 15. That could be an entry point right there. The 30-minute was better in this case by a few pips, but that was just a confirmation. Maybe you got that signal on the 30-minute and entered the trade. If the 1 hour, an hour later gives you, or a half hour later gives you a signal, then you can add on to that trade. Okay, let's just look from, if we'd entered here, up to this area. That's on a 15-minute. Now, I'm going to do something. If we'd taken it on the 1 hour, 30, and 15, now here's where the consistency comes in. You say, do I always manage it on the time frame I entered on, or do I always manage it on the one time frame larger than what I entered on? So that's the decision you can make. Many times this larger time frame is better. Okay, this is where it first went below when we moved up one time frame. It changed colors even before that. So right in that area was an area you may want to consider getting out. So this 30-minute clear up to here is like 64 pips. When we go to the 15-minute, see, it crossed and would have had us out down here for at least half of what the total move had a potential of. So that's where you can not stay in front of your computer. Now we're going to have some tools. They're in the programmer is thinking about how he wants to lay it out. He hasn't told us exactly how long it's going to take him to program it, but it's going to be an automated stop. Now the entry is one thing, and many times people can get into a trade, but they don't manage it properly because they can't be there all the time. They go take a break, they go do something, run an errand, they come back and the trade's gone against them. This management tool will help you to take out profit out of the trade. Either if you set it, it'll take out here on the 15, or if you set it on the 30, it would take out here if you receive the alert on the 1 hour. That is one strategy. That is my favorite strategy and my favorite entry and exit. This is how this one is set up. It's set for the 4 hour as the larger time frame, the 1 hour, the 30, and the 15. Now, you have to be careful if you use the 15, 15, 5, and 1 minute. Well, you have to be right there. And if I'm only going to use that if I sit in front of the computer. If I'm not in front of the computer, then I don't use that one. I like to use the larger time frames. We'll open this up for questions towards the end, and we can come back to charts if you have additional questions. So the Norwood Strategy Scanner is what we introduced to you, and it will help you to do the same thing every time. It'll help you to gain knowledge faster, and it'll help you to be more consistent in your trading, which in turn, if you do these things, the same thing every time, then you don't have to spend as much time in front of your computer. If it's bringing signals to you, go to larger time frames, you'll probably make more pips, and you don't have to sit in front of the screen all the time. So this is the offer we have for those who do not have our Nth Degree Trading course. You can subscribe to the scanner and get the Nth Degree Trading course along with the PIP Club for $150 a month. That means you have access to the full course material. Every month you pay your $150. That's broken down. $100 of that goes towards the scanner and $50 goes towards purchasing the course material. If you pay that for 12 months, you will have purchased the course material. That is a little more expensive than if you just buy the course material outright and then pay money for the scanner. So you have options here of payments or method. Now, for those who do have the Nth Degree Trading course, it's still, for the strategy scanner, it's $100 a month. As we make improvements, the price won't change. It's going to stay $100 a month, even when we get the stop included with it. Right now, it's really good as far as entering, but you still have to spend some time managing, setting your take profits, and many times that's been the challenge. So the Norwood Strategy can pay for itself. I'm going to go through this quickly, and we want people to be able to make money while they're learning to trade. So if you had a small account of $500 and you took one mini lot on every trade, you can have 2 mini lots on a $500 account, and if you go much more than that, it may not handle it, but at least I've done it and I can get 2. And you only made 15 pips net each day. You had some losses, wins, but you come out ahead each day, 15 pips. That'd be $15 a day, $45 a week, $180 a month. Now you notice I only did 3 days a week. That's because we have our PIP Club is 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Now you can trade longer than that each day, and you can trade additional days. This is the minimum, and so that would pay for the scanner and give you a nice return. You do the numbers on your account. Now maybe your account's larger. Of course you can make more money. If you have a larger account, you can make more, and then you could say I could take a larger number of pips, and I can not have to make as many pips each day. So let's just lower it to 13 pips a day, and that's 1339 156. Now this is going if you are buying the scanner and the course material. If you're just buying the course material, you can actually lower that to 10 pips a day and still pay for the scanner on 3 days a week. So it doesn't take a lot. So we want you to make money while trading in the foreign currency market. We don't want you to keep on spending your money to buy course after course after course. Over the years, the whole scene of the currency market has changed. When I first started 12 years ago in the currency market, everyone was, you could throw up a really sloppy strategy or program, and people would buy or clamor to it, and you'd make a lot of money, and then the next one would come along and they're buying, and people were just looking for the next big thing all the time. Now it's not quite so much that way. Many people have been burned a lot of times, and so they want to make sure it works for them. They want guarantees. Well, there's no guarantee, so don't even ask anyone for a guarantee, because there is no such thing. The PIP Club, we're only together an hour to an hour and a half a day, and so this is going to be 3 to 5 hours a week. Well, that's not a lot. It's very focused, and you can then have these alerts, have these smaller time frames set when you're sitting there, go to the larger time frames, and maybe you work 10 hours a week. 10 hours a week is not a lot unless you're working full-time, part-time, and you're coaching Little League. Yeah, then 10 hours is a lot of time to be trading. So that's where that balance comes in again. So we want the strategy scanner does, what it can do is it'll be able to help you take additional trades when you're not in the PIP Club. We have people report all the time that they took a trade before the PIP Club. They did something after the PIP Club and report to us the next day. Then they made X number of pips. So if it weren't for the scanner, they wouldn't have done it, because they wouldn't have seen it, because it wouldn't have been brought to their attention, because they weren't sitting there. It was sent to their telephone. So let the strategy scanner do the work for you. Now this means you'll work less because it's working more. You'll get higher probability trades because it's only setting up once all the criteria has been met, and it'll happen in less time. This is where you can have more balance in your life. Here are the links. If you want the scanner and the course material, copy this top link. The difference is 150 and 100. Those are the prices, and so you can click on those and get the scanner. Right here is where you can contact Jed or myself. We both answer this email at jed@forexstrategysecrets.com. That's what we respond to. So there's a question: will a scanner keep up with the changing market? The answer, I'm going to give a larger explanation, but the answer is yes. It's based on momentum, and that's what it does. It filters out as the market goes squabbly, is a word that some of the traders use. If it goes squabbly, yes, it will filter out trades that otherwise you may have taken. Now, if you use the proper exit signals, are you going to win every time? No. But you'll make less of a loss if you're being consistent and have consistent exit signals. Don't expect to get a win every time.